Welcome again to the Sunday Gorilla Men's Bible Study. I'm Brother Thomas Lee Harris III, and we are continuing in our verse-by-verse study in the book of 1 Samuel. And we've reached the 8th chapter, and I'm going to jump right in. Now it came to pass when Samuel was old that he made his sons judges over Israel. The name of the firstborn was Joel. The name of his second was Abijah, and they were judges in Beersheba. But his sons did not walk in his ways. They turned aside after dishonest gain, took bribes, and perverted judgment. Amen. You know I got to stop right there. Look here. Whoo! Look here. That right there is a cycle that we will see throughout the Old Testament, where the people are headed in the right direction. They're under the right direction of a prophet of God. But the sons come along. Excuse me. The sons come along, and it says in verse 3, they did not walk in the ways of the father. Dishonest, took bribes, and perverted justice. Whew. Verse 4. Then all the elders of Israel gathered together and came to Samuel at Ramah and said to him, look, you are old, and your sons do not walk in your ways. Now make us a king to judge us like all the nations. Verse 6. But the thing displeased Samuel when they said, give us a king to judge us. So Samuel prayed to the Lord. And the Lord said to Samuel, heed the voice of the people in all that they say to you. For they have not rejected you, but they have rejected me, that I should not reign over them. Amen. Come on, church. Right there. Right there. You see. Whoo! Whoo! It says, you see, Samuel was the judge and they wanted a king. A never satisfied people. But God does, you see, he didn't look at it as, he said, they're not rejecting you, they're rejecting me. They don't want me to rule them. They want some man. So I'm going to grant them that wish. And here come the pain. Amen. Here come the pain. Glory. Verse 8. According to all the works which they have done since the day I have brought them out of Egypt, even to this day, with which they have forsaken me and served other gods, so they are doing to you also. Now therefore heed their voice. However, you shall solemnly forewarn them and show them the behavior of the king who will reign over them. Verse 10. So Samuel told all the words of the Lord to the people who asked him for a king. And he said, this will be the behavior of the king who will reign over you. He will take your sons and appoint them for his own chariots and to his horsemen, and some will run before his chariots. He will appoint captains over his thousands and captains over his 50s. Will set some to plow his ground and to reap his harvest, some to make weapons of war and equipment for his chariots. He will take your daughters to be perfumers, cooks, and bakers. He will take the best of your fields, your vineyards, your olive groves, and give them to the servants. He will take the tenth of your gain and your vintage, and give it to his officers and servants. He will take your male servants, your female servants, your finest young men, your donkeys, and he will put them to work. He will take a tenth of your sheep, and you will be his servants. Amen. I just want to mark that, how we see the pattern. He says what's going to happen. You know, you ask for a king, but this is with the king. You see, God had made them free, and they were demanding to be captive, right? They wanted a man type of God, all right? And he's showing that he's establishing that I want to mark here, how that tenth, and we talk about the tithe, that the king is starting to demand that. Alright? And he's going to take, of course, your sons, your daughters. He's showing them that it's not going to be happy. But, oh, a hardened people. A hardened people. Whew, verse 18. And you will cry out in the day because of your king, whom you have chosen for yourselves, and the Lord will not hear you in that day. Woo. Nevertheless, the people refused to obey the voice of Samuel, and they said, no, but we will have a king over us, that we also may be like all the nations, and that our king may judge us and go out before us and fight our battles. And Samuel heard all the words of the people, and he repeated them in the hearing of the Lord. So the Lord said to Samuel, heed their voice, make them a king. And Samuel said to the men of Israel, every man go to his city. Amen. And that concludes the 8th chapter of the book of 1 Samuel. And I'm doing this study with you, and how they demanded to have a king. Amen. And I thank you for joining me, and look forward to seeing you in the next chapter. Amen.